Hello everyone, my name is Deepthi Kondapalli. I'm excited to be here today to talk about leading remotely as a product manager. The reason I call leading is because I believe great product managers are inherently leaders without necessarily people reporting to them. I would like to share a little bit about me so you understand the perspective and experience I bring to this webinar. I'm currently working at Expedia Group, a world's largest travel platform, as a senior director of product and engineering. I have several years of experience managing engineering and product teams globally. I love to travel and I love to learn about different cultures and people. And I strongly believe that travel makes humanity better. It also helps me understand different perspectives and point of views of people, which I need at work. I'm a mother of two children working from home now. A lot of tools that I would be sharing are drawn from my experiences leading teams remote, from home, with family to attend. So my perspectives are from both ends. There is a lot for me to share, and I have broken it down into three buckets: empathy, transparency, and innovation, and the tools to operate on these three buckets. Although the content is useful for anyone working or leading teams remotely, we will center this around product managers. But before we jump in, let's just take a moment to set the stage for what a product manager does at a high level. The role of a product manager is a unique combination of strategy and execution. You not only come up with where you want to take next your product to, but also executing the roadmap and getting the job done. You work with several stakeholders and team members, beginning with engineering, analytics, UX, your internal business partners, and more importantly, customers. We will not go in depth about the responsibilities or skill sets of a product manager, as my assumption is that you're already familiar with that. Now, if we look at the work a product manager does, it intertwines between what I have here, the 4 Ps: people, process, platform, product. Throughout the product development process, you would be managing across these 4 areas. It is a combination, and each one is equally important. And what does remote mean now versus what it was in the past? Well, pre-COVID, there has been teams that were not co-located. People had global teams that they had to work with in different time zones. There has been times when team members worked at home few days a week or once in a while. So how exactly this is different from what we're doing now? Well, in some ways it is, and some ways it's not. Now, everybody is not co-located. For most of us, there is no planned time to get together and work. For most of us, we have families at home or some personal commitments that would need extra bandwidth from us than normal. We will go over how working remote affects our ability to understand others, which is empathy. How this affects our ability to communicate, that is transparency. And how working remote, we can make great things for our customers through innovation. Now, why is leading with empathy important? One of the top traits of a product manager is customer empathy, revolving experiences around customers and understanding what they want or what they need. Just like how great customer experiences tend to be the ones that have a long-lasting impact on users, leading with empathy at work will result in stronger performing teams and great business results. It helps build trust among the teams you work with, which is foundational, helps efficiently collaborate with cross-functional teams, and enables you to influence and motivate across different teams and levels within your organization or with partners. But what does empathy mean in today's times? Well, it's not very different, but it's super important to understand it in the current remote times. A person leading with empathy being remote is sensitive to overworked employees, interested in their lives, willing to help with their problems, and be compassionate when they share their troubles or stories. It is hard to do all this when you're actually not next to that person. And how to lead with empathy? First, identify your team. Who do you work with on a daily basis? It could be engineering or clients or other business stakeholders. because you will have to cater to each team's needs. Set one-on-ones with them, bond with them. Try not to make it a transactional conversation. Take time to make some informal conversations also. Perform active listening. This will not only help with seeking diverse thoughts, but also understanding what's happening at the other person's end. Not everyone operates alike, and not everyone has support to be able to perform how they did pre-COVID. Help them focus on the what of the work and understand if they need support for how to get it done. You might also need to balance across different time zones or cater to others' availabilities as well. Therefore, I think it is super important for you to manage your weekly schedule or daily tasks. Make a checklist of them, share with the key people. Team shoutouts, my favorite. Just remember that we are all trying our best to put into work, to get the deliverables out. We get lost in all this, that sometimes we forget to pat on each other's back. This is not only for normal remote jobs pre-COVID, but even in current times. Everyone is actually juggling to balance between work and life. Recognize the wins and acknowledge the failures, but then move forward. Encourage people to speak out their views. Try to create that environment where it is safe to share both good news and bad news, as it helps the team go long ways. The second bucket, transparency. Why should we practice transparency? Transparency can be very powerful with the right intentions and in the right way. Building a stronger product transparency culture fosters a stronger relationship with your customers, engineers, and other team members, right? Remember the 4 P's we talked earlier about? People, process, platform, and product? Well, transparency is needed in all those 4 P's. You need it with people for using effective communication, to establish efficient processes, to help scale a platform, and more importantly, how and why a product is built. It enables you to set clear goals and expectations. And all these will enhance your product. It helps with your product management process so that everyone can understand your product vision, strategy, and roadmap, no matter where you're working from now. I would like to share some tips on how to practice transparency today. Beginning with identifying forums to share information with all the stakeholders. Sounds simple, isn't it? It could be daily stand-ups, sprint reviews, stakeholder meetings, or your team meetings. Create a working agreement within your team. If somebody on the team cannot attend a meeting, maybe because they have family to attend to or some commitment, make sure to agree on a way to share status. You do not want to slow down the team because of one missing piece of information. It would also help for some people who might feel that they are not visible enough. Seek feedback from team and customers and stakeholders. Be proactive. It improves your product. You could conduct virtual product reviews and usability studies or other ways to actually find those feedback loops. There are several cloud sharing applications you could use for more real-time information sharing. Get an alignment on priorities for each month or quarter or whatever cadence that you agree on. Set up forums like intake reviews or portfolio reviews. These help in alignment. It is important to clarify decision-making process. Help the team with why and how aspects of this. Identify different communication channels, upwards, sideways, and downwards, who all need to be aware of your information. However, communication is a very broad bucket. There is a verbal and written communication like we all know about. It includes emails, status updates in Slack or other ways or other messaging tools that your company uses. And then there is this non-verbal aspect, which is critical but hard to capture when you're remote or you're away from your team. You might be wondering if they are agreeing to what you're saying. Did they nod their head, raise their eyebrow? To an extent, these are all noticeable in video, the body language. But these effectiveness are gone if you're not in person. To a certain extent, it gets harder to identify those nuances. Like we spoke earlier, Active listening would help find ways to capture this. Also, it is better to clarify with a person what they think than make assumptions. And after some time, you would have figured out how some people operate anyways. In these days, I think over communication is not a bad thing too. Fostering innovation, the third bucket that we spoke earlier about, is important because it is the catalyst to business growth, either in startups or to increase your existing business profits. It helps improve clients or customer satisfaction. And more importantly, it energizes and motivates the team. Employees get motivated by staying ahead of their field. They want their creativity to be applied beyond day-to-day work. Innovation helps with talent retention also. This means taking the time to research and develop new tactics and strategies, or finding ways to best serve not only your consumer base, but your team as well. And how do we foster innovation, especially being remote? It is important to be open to new ideas, technologies, and unexplored markets. Set an environment for healthy brainstorming and generation of new ideas. So make sure you build space and time for creativity. In normal times or when working in office, this could have been achieved by coming together in a conference room or have hallway discussions, brainstorm for hours at the whiteboards. That sounds so much fun. In remote setting, this will be different and difficult. Some of the ways you could do is you could actually run virtual hackathons or like do buddy up team members on new ideas. There are tools, several tools that are out there that will help you with this. I mean, you could explore them. Look for any remote pairing tools for a collaborative team setup or some virtual sharing apps. You could also include an X% of your sprint time on non-project ideas. It could be 20%, 30%, whatever your team agrees to. You could do something called lab days, or where you have team come together and just experiment stuff. The team would look forward to these kinds of things. Let them fail fast and fail forward. I mean, everybody has ideas and we have to give them opportunities to share. Don't worry if the idea is right or wrong. Especially in these times, remember that, like we all know, with adversity comes opportunities. Look out for those opportunities and help improve your products in the new post-COVID world. Let's admit it's going to be very different. It is far from easy to make adjustment to leading remotely as product managers. In these times, it helps to be positive and assume all the positive intents. I request you all to actually take time to self-reflect. Self-care. It is very important these days. Stress and anxiety will not help you and the team to move forward. It's okay to say no. Working remote makes you feel like you're isolated or make you think you're like out of sight is out of mind. And most of us end up signing up for more. So it's super important for you to remind and say it's okay to say no. Make a checklist of what you would be doing and what you would not be doing. And at the end of the day, outcomes rule. It's super important to get the drive for results and help the team on focusing to get the job done. Simplify where possible in everything and everywhere. Do not complicate things. And of course, do not forget to have fun with what you're doing. It's super important. Have fun. By improving leadership skills, you'll be able to develop a muscle to operate in also a non-remote environments too. I hope these tools and tips would help some of you. Please share in the comment section on what helped you to lead remotely as product managers. I would like to thank Product School for giving me this opportunity to share my ideas with you all. Thank you.